after the country announced the legalization of tomb robbing. I was a famous top singer. But at the concert, he changed his career to robbing tombs. I was fired just because I didn't understand the market in my previous life. Got shot at Kaishaku. In this life, I look at the text messages on my phone. Everyone's eyes are red. More than 10 years, that whole dozen years. My hard days are finally over. Concert scene. I directly exposed the ugly face of the agency. Then he left without raising his head. But my manager Jung Dong looked livid and said he was going to sue me. Give me a lawsuit and jail time. At this point I have indeed returned to the villa where I live. I dug out a large backpack and wiped off the dust on it. I look excited. Then there was a roar of the accelerator. We went straight to the Gwazi temple and rushed there. After 7 hours of arrival, I parked the car on the side of the road, so he lay down in the car and rested. Maybe I've never felt so relaxed. I slept until noon the next day. After simple tidying up, I took out the live broadcast equipment. Start live broadcast and debug. Although tomb robbing is now legal, however, it is still illegal to not conduct live streaming of tomb robbing. And all the proceeds from the live broadcast of tomb robbing, including this tomb you discovered, it's all your personal income. I'm almost ready, so I won't delay anymore. I stood up and unplugged the air pump, throwing an inflatable padded kayak into the water. Then equipped the 2 large packages. He was thrown into the kayak along with himself, in the roar of the engine, driving towards the water. At this time, in a mysterious building somewhere in the Dragon Kingdom, Jianian looked at the phone and said, Longlao Sentang has started broadcasting. The location shows that he is in Gwazi Temple. Are there ancient tombs there? It seems that the Cultural Relics Bureau never mentioned. Elder Long said to himself, the place of Gwazi Temple. Many years ago a bronze was indeed discovered. More specifically, that ancient tomb, it was discovered very early to protect the remote location of that place. The archaeological team later inspected and found no other ancient tombs. Why is this guy there? And at this time, I've driven my kayak to the middle of the water. Everyone can see it in front of you. A big mountain standing in the water appeared in the live broadcast room view. Everyone is talking about whether there's an ancient tomb in this place. I did look at the approaching mountains. Everyone was stunned, because just when I saw this mountain, but a voice rang in my mind, ding. It is detected that the host starts tomb robbing activities. The tomb robbery auxiliary system has been released. Identification of the unique function of the tomb robbery auxiliary system. This system can identify all items related to ancient tombs. The value is clear and true. Hear system sounds. I was so excited that I burst into tears. And my kayak. But it has already slid into the cave with a roar. I smiled and said, bosses, please get ready. The auction is about to begin. Our first lot is already on the way. I was already lit up as I spoke. A powerful searchlight placed in front of the kayak. As soon as the light goes out, in an instant, the entire cave was illuminated like daylight. Fans in the live broadcast room immediately saw. The entire cave is pitifully low. It seems like the rocks above are about to fall down at any moment. And there are countless large and small caves on it. The hole actually looks like there are traces of digging. At this moment, in the hidden building in Longguo, suddenly a person was supervising. The staff member of the video was stunned. I saw a reminder appear on his computer screen. It was detected that a streamer discovered a water thief hole, suspected to be before the Western Zhou dynasty. Please notify experts for appraisal as soon as possible. And now in the live broadcast, I looked at the fans in the live broadcast room and they didn't understand anything. So he opened his mouth and explained that this was a water thief cave. It was the ancients who robbed tombs and excavated. As soon as these words came out, netizens in the live broadcast room expressed doubts. I feel helpless and I just want to explain. And now in the mysterious building, Mr. Long also received the news to commemorate. Busily handed over the phone. Mr. Long couldn't help but click his tongue when he saw it. This guy really discovered the rice cave. Judging from the scale, I'm afraid it was dug out by official channels, and the year must be before the Western Zhou dynasty. And he went straight here to find out his details. Listen to commemorate. Mr. Long seems to think that there was a history of tomb robbing in the Song and Tang dynasties. Blind explained Mr. Long. I just checked. There was no record of tomb robbing in the Song and Tang dynasties, and there are no grave robbers among the people I have come into contact with in the past. When Mr. Long heard this, he stole and smoked twice. That's strange. Mark his live broadcast room. Let archaeologists focus on. We may have discovered another master tomb robber this time. They are the ones we focus on wooing. Netizens in the live broadcast room are looking forward to it very much. The first auction item I found after going to the tomb was. I took out a huge fishing net. And it's the ultimate protection network. I first unfolded the fishing net, thrown into the water near the kayak. Then he took out 3 or 4 bottles of high concentration alcohol. Everyone was poured into the water. Fans were stunned. Said he didn't understand what I was doing. I got up and picked up a label book. Write your name. Tear it off and stick it on the wall above your head. Subsequently, I took out another large raw chicken drumstick from my backpack. Then he tied it with wire and threw it into the water. At this time, the sound of rushing water came from the passage. There seems to be something stirring in the water. I was immediately excited that the goods arrived. Suddenly I rolled up my sleeves. The right hand moves with lightning speed. Instantly plunged into the water. Then suddenly they became one. Suddenly something was pulled out of the water by him. The live broadcast room was hilarious. I think I spent so much effort. Caught a lobster. I smiled and explained that this was not a lobster. It will kill you if you eat it. Just when the fans in the live broadcast room want to watch carefully. But I stood up directly. At the same time, he said, please wait a moment, there are a lot of goods. Let's continue the auction after I've received it. Everyone was stunned when they heard this. What do you mean there are too many goods? However, the next moment they understood. I just stood up. Suddenly, it was as if a pot had exploded on the water surface. Countless things are tumbling as if they are surging in the water. Like thousands of fish. The water splashed everywhere. I'm standing on the kayak. I don't know when I already had a folding shovel in my hand. 3 times, 5 times, 2 times to put the shovel together. Watch the water warily. Something churning in the water. He actually started rushing towards the kayak. Countless flying figures rushed out of the water. Go straight to where I am. However, I was already prepared. The shovel will fold it in my hand. He took a photo towards the black shadow. For a while, I just heard the tinkling sound. It's like beating metal. The fans in the live broadcast room are all crazy. Is he meowing to receive the goods? If you accept the goods like this, your boss will cry to death. Just when he was still in the live broadcast room, I saw a large black shadow coming straight towards me. But I rushed out of the kayak with all my strength. The whole person got directly into the rice hole above his head. After passing most of the black shadow below. Then he jumped down again. At this moment, a huge tortoise-like thing rushed out of the water. However, at this critical moment, my whole body fell sideways. One hand on the kayak. Instead, I put my feet on the rock wall above my head. The whole person immediately did a difficult handstand. At the same time, a free hand. In an instant, the black shadow the size of a tortoise was photographed directly on. I stood up on the rock wall above my head. I moved the folding shovel and pressed it against the back of the thing. Then he quickly took out the rope from his backpack. Just like tying a crab, tie it with 5 strips. Then he threw it on the ground. Finished these. I took out another bottle of insect repellent from my backpack. I sprayed it all around and above my head. Then he put some things hidden in the rock wall above his head. Shoot and fall into the water, listening to the surrounding noise getting smaller and smaller. Then he breathed a sigh of relief and said with a smile that he had finished the delivery and left. Our first auction is about to begin. At this moment, all the fans in the live broadcast room have already told the truth. After hearing my words, everyone reacted. They were all shocked by what I did just now. I saw them gossiping again and didn't bother to explain. I was minding my own business, sorting out the goods and getting ready to start the auction. And now in the mysterious building, Mr. Long and Jianian were also dumbfounded when they saw it. Memorial opened her mouth and couldn't speak for a long time. Finally, Mr. Long spoke. An excellent folk craftsman. Adaptability and skill are two absolutely indispensable items. This song in Tang Dynasty's reaction just now, although it seems like he already knew what was here. But that thing is alive. He can evade all attacks without any damage. At the same time, the difficult will of the situation. Just reaching out like this is not something ordinary people can do. Also, did you notice his right hand? Is that finger from the Zhang family? Commemorative classical texts are busy looking at the right hand of Song in Tang Dynasties. Sure enough, we found that on the right hand of Song in Tang Dynasties. 2 fingers are obviously longer than the other fingers. But following him and shaking your head is absolutely impossible. Mr. Long, we have all seen those kind of fingers. Look at Song and Tang's fingers. His skin is smooth and I believe him even if you say he has a good hand at playing the piano. People with such skin. How could it be possible that I have been practicing to finger probing since I was a child? This kind of person will. Mr. Long nodded. This is also true. What I can't figure out. Could it be that his fingers, it really just grew like this naturally? It's better to keep looking at it. He didn't see clearly what the thing he grabbed was. I will just take out the biggest bug that was tied up. Put it in front of the camera for everyone to watch carefully. While showing it, he explained that this thing is not a lobster. Not a crab either. This thing belongs to a species of dragon and lion family. Folks call it lion farewell. This lion is by far the largest of the bunch. The starting price is, wait a minute, I'll take a look. I said and looked around to identify it. Immediately under the reminder of the system, a lot of data came out. Item name identification dates down to the Western Zhou dynasty. The value is only biological research and is estimated to be 100,000. Origin appeared during the summer solstice in Western Zhou dynasty. Survived till now. Only for such a big person. You have to check the details of the origins of other figures to find out. I couldn't help but feel happy when I saw these. This system is indeed new boy. I said to the live broadcast room that the starting price of this recognition is 100,000. This time, the water friends in the live broadcast room all made a big comment. What insect is worth 100,000? This is too nonsense. And Mr. Long and Jianian also frowned when they saw it. Memorial Dao Long Lao, is this really identification? I remember the identified specimens collected by the Yangzhou Museum. But it's not that big. Mr. Long shook his head and was unsure. I told you to contact the archaeological expert group. Let them come up with a result as soon as possible. But in the live broadcast room, I saw that everyone didn't know the goods. Also helpless. I thought I'd better share it with everyone. Otherwise no one would know the goods. I cleared my throat and said, everyone, listen to me. This recognition is general. It only appears in places where there are many corpses. As big as this tortoise in my hand. At least he must have lived from the Western Zhou dynasty to the present. So its value is immeasurable. 100,000 to support his biological research. Study the value of this thing. I'm sure the paleontological research department would be interested. In the live broadcast room, the first lot is commemorated by knowledge. Finally got feedback. Mr. Long just received feedback. The archaeological expert team has determined that this is the ancient poem. They say those that size are almost extinct. No matter what, I have to buy this one. Very valuable for studying paleontology and history. Speaking of commemoration, he took out a picture. When Mr. Long saw this picture, he suddenly realized. It turns out that the lion has another tail. There is also a bronze bell tied to it. Mr. Long looked at the bell. I understood immediately. Those archaeological experts organize and say they can study history. This thing is an ancient cultural relic. Long Lao slapped the table. Contact the Institute of Paleontology immediately. Let them come forward and buy it. In less than 5 minutes, an ID appeared in the live broadcast room. This is what we don't want. The big one invested 100,000. and the small one invested 100,000. I waited for a long time and finally saw someone selling it. And the ID says Bilingual Institute of Paleontology. He immediately knew that he was here to do business and smiled, saying it was worth 100,000 yuans, small 50,000. There are at least 10 of them in large numbers here. There must be hundreds of even small ones. The first auction will give you a preferential price of 10 million. The other party was very happy and agreed immediately. Then he hurriedly replied with a sentence that was extremely recognizable. To be complete. When I saw this, I smiled and hung up. It was no problem. But I have to take away one thing from these 10 big ones. What I sell is shibatsu. Not including the little bell down here. Having said that, I shook my soldiers in front of the camera. Only then did everyone see. Don't let this guy go down. There's even a beautiful little bell hanging on it. People are so angry that if you don't sell them together, you should tell them earlier. I smiled and it was my fault. Are you going to buy eggs? If you buy eggs, you will put them in someone else's house. Can you take it with the box? The official people immediately said okay. Then you make a price and I'll see if I can accept it. I thought about it and glanced at the bell. Suddenly the message popped up again. Item name Bronze Bell. Your summer solstice Western Zhou Dynasty. It is a priceless treasure that must be sold. Based on the current world price, it is estimated that one piece will cost 20 million. Origin, appeared during the summer solstice in Western Zhou Dynasty. Produced in Shibuya, a minority ethnic group. When I saw this, I smiled and said, this bronze bell. I have seen 10 of them so far. I don't have time to check them one by one. Just count it as 10 pieces. Price is 200 million for 10 packs. Including the loss of 210 million. Once this bronze bell and farewell are separated. Losing farewell will inevitably lead to a short life, so I won't dismantle it. If you don't know how to disassemble it in the future, you can always come to me. I provide online technical support. If there's no problem, just make a payment.